Hey, it's your afternoon girlfriend, Yvonne Daniels. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Man, I tell you what, we're back at it again. And of course, the information keeps coming out about the pandemic that we're in. We know that folks are starting to go back to work, but we still are in a pandemic. And new numbers came out this morning, actually, that was talking about the rate and who it's affecting. The new numbers are that 33% affected are Hispanic, 22% African American, 1.3%, I think, Native American. So we're still in this thing thick. We still need to be wearing our mask. We still need to be getting tested. That is extremely important. And that's why we're here today. We've got our very first pop-up COVID-19 testing site with the Great Lakes Bay Health Centers that is kicking off today at 11 o'clock. So in about 55 minutes or so, you can go and start getting tested till 3 o'clock this afternoon in Buena Vista. All right. And that address is Town Green Park, 1161 South Outer Drive. It's right behind the Popeyes. Okay. All right. So we've got some great folks that we want to talk to about testing and all of that, getting all your questions answered. And once again, if you have questions, you can go ahead and pop those in the chat there, and we will get those questions answered for you at the end if they don't get answered, because we've got a lot of stuff that we're going to cover. So we want to bring on to the scene. We've got Reverend Dennis LaFoon. He is the pastor of Bethel AME Church. Hey, Pastor LaFoon, how are you?
Good morning.
We also have the president of the Saginaw branch of the NAACP, Terry Pruitt, in the building. Hey, how are you?
Good, great, and good morning to the both of you.
Good morning. And then we're going to try and bring on Miss Angela Williams. She is the Director of Special Projects with the Great Lakes Bay Health Centers. Miss Angela, hello. So we're going to get started here. Good morning. All right, so we've been talking about, we've got this COVID-19 pop-up testing site, the very first one here in the area. So that's going to be awesome, kicking off at 11 o'clock. Testing is so important. So Angela, we're going to go to you and just talk about the testing and who actually can get tested.
All right. At Great Lakes Bay Health Center, today is our first, what we consider a pop-up testing site in Buena Vista. And it's important in reference to people to know who can get tested. Anyone can get tested with or without symptoms. You don't need a doctor's order. We're just asking that you bring an ID as well as your health insurance card. Whether you have insurance or not, we want you to get tested. Another important message that we are trying to stress to everyone is, even if you don't have symptoms, you can still have the virus and be spreading it. It's important to find out your status to protect yourself, your family, and the community. And if you're going back to work or you're in the public, you need to know your status and be a role model to encourage other people to get tested.
For sure. Thank you so much for that, Angela. And I know people are going back into the office now. The governor opened everything up. And I think as of yesterday, pretty much everything is open. So that testing is going to be more important than ever. So as I said, we've got with us as well, Pastor of Bethel AME Church. And Pastor LaFoon, you said you didn't mind talking about it. So were you actually diagnosed with coronavirus and COVID-19? Have you had an experience with that? And if so, share that with us.
I have not had the experience with COVID, but I did go in to get tested.
Okay.
I had been out and about, both shopping and still doing, work of ministry. And I wanted to be confident that I actually did not have the coronavirus, but I also wanted to videotape that opportunity that I was doing myself to encourage the folks within my congregation as well as in the community to let them know, one, how easy it was, and then how quickly you get your results back. And so I went to the 501 Lapeer site to get tested a few weeks ago. And it was a very easy process. The Great Lakes Bay Centers offered the drive-through, which I was able to stay in my vehicle. The staff came out, took some information from me, and then took a swab and tilted my head back and inserted the nasal swab to collect the samples, and just took a few seconds, and before I knew it, I was I was back on the road. And so About 2 to 4 days later, the test results came back via a phone call, and that was it. It was quick, it was easy, and it was like a cool sensation momentarily when they put the swab in and took it out. Um, and it was fairly easy, and it took the fear away, knowing that the testing was there. You can get results within 2 to 4 days, and it did. It just gave me the confidence that I could continue to do as I was doing in terms of self quarantining. But as I went out, to continue to wash my hands, wear the masks, and just be just be cautious, because this is the season that we're in.
So basically, there's no need to be scared.
No, you don't have to be scared. You don't have to be scared. Just go get tested. It's free.
Yeah.
It's free. I cannot say that enough. It's free. Go get tested.
And like you said, it's so convenient. You go, they're offering just go, you drive up, but it is very important once again. So that COVID-19 pop-up test site is going to be kicking off in about 45 minutes. All right. Once again, you can go to Buena Vista, Town Green Park, 1161 South Outer Drive from 11 to 3 today, right behind the Popeyes, and get tested. Hassel Laffoon has already told you, it's painless, it's pretty painless, 2 to 4 days, you're going to get your results. And so you'll know how to move to not only protect yourself, but protect those folks that you love. So thank you so much for that. So now here's a question. And Angela, I'm not exactly sure if you can hear me. If you can answer this. If not, Pastor Laffoon, we're going to throw it over to you. But so what do you do if you have a possible or confirmed COVID-19 test or diagnosis? What happens then? All right, so Pastor Laffoon, we're going to throw it over to you. So
sure. Well, you definitely want to stay at home from work and other public places for 14 days. You want to avoid any public transportation. You want to monitor your symptoms very carefully. If they get worse, you want to call your health provider immediately. Get rest and stay hydrated. Before going to the healthcare appointment, call ahead and let them know that you may have COVID-19. You want to continue to wear a face covering and cover your cough. Wash your hands often and clean your hands with hand sanitizer. When you're in your home, stay away from other people as much as possible. Avoid sharing personal items in your household. Clean all surfaces that are touched often with cleaning spray or wipes. And we encourage everyone to speak with family or household members about having a plan in place for what to do in the event that someone gets COVID-19.
All right. So very important. All right. So what does a negative test result mean? Does that mean that, I'm good to go? Or can you answer that for us, Pastor Laffoon? What does a negative test mean?
Well, a negative nasal swab most likely means you don't have the virus now, but could still become infected and not have symptoms for a few days. It's still important to wear a face covering in public, maintain social distancing of 6 or more feet, and keep your hands clean. We want to avoid touching your face with unwashed hands, and just be as cautious as you possibly can.
All right, for sure. And once again, I can't stress this enough, and you see that right there on the screen. You can go get your test done right now. COVID-19 pop-up test going down. Actually, at 11 o'clock this morning, you can start doing that till 3 o'clock. Buena Vista, Town Green Park, 1161 South Outer Drive, right behind the Popeyes. All right. So continuing on, according to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, there's an alarming rate of racial and ethnic disparities. We've been hearing about this in COVID-19 cases and deaths. As of April 19th of this year, African-American residents comprise 33% of cases and 40% of deaths. That's crazy, due to COVID-19 in Michigan, comprising only 14% of the state's population. So why is it important to bring COVID-19 testing and education awareness to our community? Pastor Laffoon, what you think?
Well, I'm going to throw this one to Terry Pruitt. He is working very closely with the Black and Brown in our community, and so come on, Terry.
Well, thank you, Pastor Laffoon. It's really important to provide sort of the culturally appropriate health education to our constituents who are Black and brown. Yvonne, you cited some very important statistics. It is extremely important that we, people of color, understand that this virus is really having a very significant impact on our community. I spoke with Dr. Delicia Pruitt over the weekend, and she's saying even though things have stabilized and in Saginaw County, as we go forward with the testing, it looks like we're still seeing a higher incidence of positive tests for African Americans and Hispanics. So we need to continue to go through and utilize venues such as this, and our social media outlets, our faith-based leaders, and other community leaders to get the message out that it's important that people go get their testing. There's huge amounts of materials that are being shared throughout the community with people, and just to educate them about the need for getting tested. So it's an extremely important part of what we have to do on a daily basis. I've been working with a countywide committee and advocating for the African American community, Hispanic communities, and trying to come up with the appropriate messaging and the right phraseology. So we hit home with people that, hey, this is important.
And Terry Pruitt, you guys at the NAACP have been doing a great job with getting the information out. So we appreciate you so much for doing that. And so you can go ahead and you can answer this question as well. What are the risks of COVID-19 infection?
Well, the fact is that anybody can get the virus. So don't think that just because you're feeling good today,
that's right,
that something can't happen tomorrow. We're at high risk, especially in the African American people of color communities. In many instances, it's much more dangerous to us, largely because many of us are experiencing other parts of our life that give us a greater incidence of exposure. We have other health issues that compromise our health systems and make us a lot more susceptible to these kinds of issues and problems in our community. If you've got high blood pressure, sugar diabetes, heart disease, kidney, lung disease, asthma, and other health issues, you really ought to get tested. You ought to stay on top of all of that because, as we say in the health industry, your system, your body is already compromised to some extent, and you will. So if you feel sick, you need to take all the appropriate actions that we've already talked about to protect yourself. And one of the other messages that we've been trying to get out to people is it's not always about you. It's about protecting your loved ones, your family members, and your friends and associates. Driving home the message that you get tested is also a way of making sure that you protect other people who are around you and who you engage with.
For sure. One of the shows, the NAACP sponsors a great show here at KISS 107.1 Community Connections. And on one of the shows, you guys were discussing a lot of the ways. So you can actually go ahead and answer this as well, which is a question, how can people find help to stay safe and healthy?
Well, one of the things that we can do is call 211 if you've got any sort of issues associated with the COVID-19 virus, from food assistance, any other emergency assistance. There are lots of organizations and services and resources available in the community to assist you. Transportation is one of the issues that we've discovered that a lot of people have in terms of just getting to food sites, getting to a medical location. Those services are available. All you have to really do is pick up your phone and call 211, have that conversation about what your specific needs are. I guarantee you there's somebody in this county who can provide the assistance you need to help you address it. I mean, even rental assistance, your consumer's energy bill. We know that a lot of people over the last 3 months are unemployed. There are some people who are still experiencing difficulty in getting their unemployment and other assistance that they need, but there is an organization that's available to help you with that, and that's 211. All you have to do is dial a number, and you'll be put in touch with someone that can help you. I know that we didn't talk a little bit about the symptoms, but everybody's been, I think, hopefully educated about that, but we need to kind of quickly review that again. The most frequently we see that the symptoms start out very mild and start slowly, but they include a fever, a dry cough, difficulty breathing, you're feeling tired and aches and pains and a runny nose, nasal congestion. Some people experience a sore throat and diarrhea. So any of those things that you're experiencing now, you ought to be getting tested, and you ought to be conferencing with your personal physician.
Thank you for that information. And, this is, I tell you, as horrible as this pandemic has been, it has opened up our eyes to so many things, especially in the African-American community, that we need to be getting done. Definitely stuff like, dental care. People I don't know if they really understand that, dental care is affected. It affects your heart, that the plaque when we don't get stuff clean, and also a lot of times too, dentists can tell if we have problems in other areas, by checking our lymph glands and all that kind of stuff. So just to have your eyes open, because knowledge definitely is power. So with having said that, once again, Great Lakes Bay Health Centers, we thank you guys so much for providing this COVID-19 pop-up testing, the very first one. There are going to be more, though, to come. But testing is so important. And once again, you can start that testing this morning at 11 o'clock, from 11 till 3 o'clock. Buena Vista Town Green Park is the address, 1161 South Outer Drive, right behind the Popeyes. So thank you all experts so much for your information. Angela Williams of the Great Lakes Bay Health Center, Pastor Dennis LaFoon, and the president of the Saginaw branch of the NAACP, Terry Pruitt. Thank you so much. And I think I may just swing by there just to get a test. I mean, I'm feeling good, but like you said, Terry, that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? So make sure and get a test so that not only I can stay healthy, but my loved ones can stay healthy as well, because that's what it's all about. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. And we'll see you when you come by to get your COVID-19 testing at the pop-up site in Buena Vista. So thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My understanding is there'll be a few giveaways and things out there too. So come on by and get your giveaways out there at the test site.
All right, while you're getting tested. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for asking.
Bye-bye.